I've been thinking a lot about silences. Silences in family, silences between friends, among work colleagues, silences in our society. Especially since last May, when we all saw the leaked draft opinion of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito regarding women's reproductive health rights. Over and over again since that time, I've heard podcasts, read op-eds, listened to late-night TV talk show host, morning show guest, and I've been told that if I have a penis, if I'm a man, I need to fall back. I need to be quiet. That I shouldn't be meddling in the affairs or the conversation on women's rights. But as a partner, as the father of 2 daughters, as a son, as a friend, as an ally, I vehemently disagree with that. Too often, too many men, whenever the phrase gender is mentioned, go quiet, turn away, find a distraction, or sit silently. But the silence of men has consequences. First, our silence has led too many men, myself included, to live lies. Growing up in Missouri, as a short, chubby kid wearing glasses, I believed what I was told. I believed that I was athletic, that if I was, as I grew taller, if I was overbearing, if I exerted my physical power, my male privilege, that I would be seen as more of a man, more masculine. I never talked about what it meant to be a man with my father. He himself did not have his father growing up as a child in a family of 10 children. So really it was up to me to go on a journey of what manhood meant in this society in particular. A society that tells us that manhood is often dependent on physical strength, sexual prowess, dominance in work, and in relationships. But the women in this audience know better than I do for sure that that type of manhood, that way of being, is harmful for everyone in society, especially women, but also men. We men must talk amongst ourselves. We have to have the conversations about manhood, what manhood means for each of us. There's no one way to be a man. There's no bar to be a good man. There's no floor for what it means to be a toxic man. What has to happen is that men have to commit to being on a journey that centers our shared humanity with everyone else in society. Secondly, the silence of men has allowed a minority of men, particularly cis, straight white men, to dictate the parameters of the lives lived by women and LGBTQI plus people in our society. We see this right now, possibly this week or later this month, when the Supreme Court will issue an opinion that will definitely affect the lives of women's reproductive health rights, maternal health access, and their overall health care. And it will speak to their place in society. Most men want to be involved supportively with information to ally with women for their rights, for their bodies, in the workplace, at home, and society at large. But again, our silence has allowed a minority of us to step up and dictate parameters, dictate boundaries that many women do not want to have happen to them. They want their own agency. Men have to acknowledge that patriarchy in our society, a patriarchy born out of structural inequity, not only consumes the inherent power of women and girls to determine their lives, as well as poor women, as well as women of color, as well as trans women, but it also diminishes our humanity as well. Third, our silence as men has led women to believe men don't care, that men cannot constructively invest in or be a part of conversations or lead with women and girls to determine what's best for society as a whole. Women have been led to believe, because men have not stepped up, that we have nothing to say. They were okay with a minority of us speaking at the highest levels of power in society. They were okay having a minority of us determine not only our fates without consultation, but the fates of those who we care about the most. Men have to believe, and we have to believe that we have a place in these conversations. We have to talk amongst ourselves, but we have to create the space for women to tell their stories to us authentically, without judgment, without stigma, without shame. In too many situations, women are silenced by men's silence. We don't ask, we don't inquire, we don't create spaces of safety for women to step forward about their abuse, about their traumas, about their lived experiences, about their own impacted humanity, the areas where they have barriers to success and empowerment. Women have to feel agency and ownership of their stories and their lived experience to share those with men, the men of their lives whom they love, but also men in society as a whole. And we men have to be able to listen. Not listen with judgment, not respond in defensiveness. We have to be able to listen to what's being said to us, grow, learn, and develop. I said before that the dichotomy of good manhood versus bad manhood, healthy masculinity versus toxic masculinity, it's fallacious. There's no such dichotomy. Men, we have to be able to recognize that the journey towards becoming better individuals in society, better humans, it takes time. It's what I call the work. There's no end point. I stand before you now as a man who speaks often about gender justice and the role of men and at achieving that in our society. And as my family will attest, I'm still doing the work. The work is never ending. We're always wanting to improve ourselves to be better for ourselves and for our families, for society. It's of the utmost importance that men understand that silence is not an option right now. We're facing so many critical challenges to the society which we've known, to our democracy, to our financial institutions, to our public health systems. Men who, in good faith, men who, with authenticity and sincerity, want to be allies, want to stand up with women, for women, must speak out now. Gender justice, gender equity is our fight too. Thank you.